Hello, superstar. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you for the videos. Okay, I think now that I've reviewed the videos, I know what you mean about compression. I think we've spoken about it before, but just before we move on there quickly, okay, wedges are, I suspected it anyway, but which is why I wanted to look at them. Okay, wedges are a mess, right? Okay, but it doesn't matter because you're making driver 3-wood swings with a wedge. That's all that's happening. Okay, it's very simple, very easy to fix. But you do need to know what compression is. Okay, so compression is not hitting down on the golf ball. Okay, that is not compression. All right, compression, and as you understand wedge play versus now compression, you should start to understand why I was always so pedantic about getting that move correct. Club face move. Okay, you'll figure it out. Now you should start to figure it out in more depth now. Okay, compression, okay, is what it sounds like. Okay, it's something compressing. What is compressing? All right, so with an iron, okay, pretty much only the golf ball compresses. There are some irons that have a slot, speed slot in here that thing compresses a little bit. Okay, but otherwise, generally speaking, with an iron, only the golf ball is compressing. All right, and compressing exactly what it sounds is actually, as it gets getting hit, it's made smaller. Okay, that creates a lot of energy, and as that energy pushes back, the ball speed increases. Right. So for maximum compression of any shot, but particularly an iron shot, okay, you need to hit the back of the golf ball. Okay. Right. We need the face square. Okay, and you want to hit the middle of the golf club. Those are your three primary things for maximum compression. Okay, if you do that, you get a solid hit. The ball stays on the club as it compresses, actually rolls up the groove slightly, and then it leaves with tremendous speed. You can't compress the ball in to out. You can't compress the ball out to in. Okay, you can't compress the ball off the toe, off the heel, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's got nothing to do with hitting the ground. Right, then with 3-wood and driver, okay, the face of the golf club also compresses. So if you tap your driver, see it's hollow inside. Okay, so you've got your ball compression. This is why the drivers go so far. And if you hit it, same thing, club face square, back of the ball, middle of the face, okay, then the face of the driver actually caves at impact. The air inside the head gets compressed, and then it pushes back, and the face explodes like a trampoline, and then obviously the ball hopefully compresses as well. Right. Now, all these things happen in a millisecond, 100th of a second. Okay, you can sort of feel them a little bit once you know, okay, but you don't control them. You control them with correct plane, correct club face, correct strike, and it happens as a byproduct. Okay, but compressing is not having your hands in front and hitting down. That's not compressing the golf ball. Okay, right. That is low point control, which is what we're going to work on this week. Okay, your low point control is bad, right? So obviously we're working so much on plane and arm depth, whatever, and then obviously face. With your wedges, now obviously we haven't done a lot of wedges, but with your wedges, okay, so that's the compression part. With your wedges, you don't seem to do this with other clubs. With your wedges, you're kind of setting them a little open, like this, like a little fanny. Okay, and now obviously you have to flick it coming through. So now you're flicking the face coming through because you opened it so much on the way back. Flick it coming through, and then we've added the back tilt that we should have with the driver. So now your low point is here. Your low point is also your square point. Remember that. Okay, so now the square point of the wedge swing, which should be just ahead of the ball, you've now made over here because we've been doing so many drivers and so much plane work. Add a little bit of flickiness of the face, and obviously that thing's going to go left. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's very easy to fix. Okay, right. So wedges, we have to learn how to control this, our spine angle. Okay, or back tilt if you want to call it that. Okay, driver, well, our low point is here, and we catch the thing on the upward journey. Okay, 3-wood probably about level, even though the ball position is forward. Okay, 4-iron maybe level as well. And then as you get to 5-iron, 6-iron, now the low point must move to the ball. By the time you get to your wedges, your low point must be ahead of the golf ball. All right, so how do we control that? Right, so first thing is with wedges, we don't have to make a big plane or shoulder move. Okay, so in order for that thing to be on plane, the backswing then needs to be a little bit shorter and flatter. Okay, so your wedge backswing, narrow stance. Okay, now remember these things match the width of the stance on the golf club and the low point that you of the club you're using. So with the driver, big wide stance, big lateral move. That means big elevation, big drop, square the face. Okay, irons, medium, a little bit of elevation, a little drop, rotation to square the face. Okay, wedges, nothing. Almost no weight shift. If some weight shift happens naturally, fine, but almost no weight shift. One plane, okay, but now we know what the plane is, so we just take it straight onto that plane, and then we don't change our back tilt. Okay, so we just take it straight onto that plane, no weight shift, and then we just turn the other way. Okay, so that's how we control our wedges. So they must feel like little 1/2 and 3/4 swings. All right, no head moving back, we're adding back tilt, narrow stance, turn back, little pause, turn through. Okay, circle, circle. So we only use the downswing circle for wedges. We don't use the backswing circle, which is created from a different setup. All right, so narrow stance, chest over. Okay, get these hands a bit higher, please, so that the club is lying nicely. Okay, and we just turn this way, turn that way. Okay, so I want you to try that with the wedges. All right, and then just do a little bit of low point work. So put a towel behind, about a club head and a half for now. Narrow stance, none of this, none of this. So no loading, no adding back tilt. Turn on the spot. If it feels like you're a little bit too much over it, that's fine. You need that shot sometimes as well. We'll get into that in the upcoming weeks. Just turn on top of the ball, a little bit shorter and flatter, right on the plane that you're always trying to find as you shift weight. As you shift weight and drop the right shoulder, that same slot you're always trying to find, just turn your wedges straight into that same slot. And then obviously miss the towel. Okay. Look. Club it in half, it's perfect. I've got a 6-iron, but we'll hit a wedgie 6-iron. Okay, shorter and flatter. Okay. And that's how you hit your wedges. Right, take some more videos, both sides, so we can check the plane, check the low point that's being controlled by your back tilt. Okay, essentially think no back tilt, control your low point, and they should start coming out a bit straighter. Okay, don't worry about the club face for now, I'll keep an eye on it. All you have to add to that is this. All right, what I would do is do some wedges and some drivers as well, so you can really feel the difference. Okay, and then just, if you have time, just do a little bit of neatening up of this backswing. As little face rotation as possible. Okay, it needs to be a little bit neater, a little bit stronger. Okay, you can see it's kind of wavy and a little bit sloppy there at the top. Okay, a little bit shut, strong, bang. Okay, that was a wedge swing. Okay, and then shut, strong, drop it in the slot. That's your driver swing. Okay, let me know if it all makes sense. But start with the wedges, figure it all out. Okay, and I'll talk to you later.